Welcome, intrepid seekers of the unknown, and greetings to those who have returned to delve deeper into the enigmatic realm. Step into the mystic domain of our Cryptic Hunters YouTube page, where curiosity reigns and secrets await. Pull up a stump, dear viewers, for an extraordinary adventure awaits you. Relax, for I shall guide you through the labyrinthine corridors of ancient legends, uncharted territories, and the veiled mysteries that lie just beyond our grasp. Embark upon this captivating journey with me and allow the seductive tales and mind-bending puzzles to transport you to the furthest reaches of your imagination. Embrace the anticipation, for together we shall unravel the tapestry of enigmas that dance in the shadows. Sit back, my friends, and prepare to be mesmerized by the intriguing content that awaits you.
Today I invite you to journey with me into the enigmatic depths of our planet's oceans, to explore a creature that has intrigued and perplexed naturalists and seafarers for centuries: the Steller Sea Ape. This cryptid, shrouded in mystery since the 18th century, beckons us to consider the vast unknown beneath the ocean's surface. The tale of the Steller Sea Ape begins with Georg Wilhelm Steller, a German naturalist, botanist, and explorer who participated in the Russian Second Kamchatka expedition, led by the Danish explorer Vitus Bering in 1741. This expedition was a monumental undertaking aimed at mapping the uncharted territories of Siberia and the North Pacific Ocean. On August 10, 1741, as Steller and his crew navigated the frigid waters near the Shumagan Islands off the coast of Alaska, he recorded an encounter with an extraordinary marine animal. In his meticulous journal entries, Steller described observing the creature for over 2 hours, providing a detailed account that has fascinated and puzzled scholars. According to Steller's account, the creature was approximately 5 feet long and possessed an appearance unlike any known marine animal. It had a head resembling that of a dog, complete with large eyes and whiskers, akin to those of a cat. Its body was slender and elongated, covered in thick grayish fur that glistened when wet. The creature exhibited a playful demeanor, swimming around the ship and performing acrobatic leaps and somersaults, much to the amazement of the crew. It had a bifurcated tail similar to that of a shark, which it used to propel itself gracefully through the water. Some interpretations of Steller's notes suggest it had 4 limbs, ending in something like hands or claws, adding to its anthropomorphic allure. What made Steller's observation particularly compelling was his reputation for accuracy. He was the first to describe several species, including the Steller's sea cow, a large marine mammal that was later driven to extinction by overhunting. His descriptions of flora and fauna were noted for their precision and reliability, lending credibility to his account of the sea ape. While Steller's initial sighting took place near the Shumagan Islands, subsequent reports have placed the Steller Sea Ape in various locations throughout the North Pacific Ocean: the Aleutian Islands, the Gulf of Alaska, and parts of the Bering Sea have all been cited as possible habitats. These regions are characterized by their remote and rugged nature, with harsh weather conditions and icy waters that make exploration challenging. The vastness of the North Pacific, with its deep trenches and underwater mountain ranges, offers countless hiding places for elusive creatures. The rich biodiversity of these cold waters supports a wide array of marine life, some of which remain undiscovered due to the inhospitable environment. Following Steller's report, there have been sporadic sightings that some attribute to the Steller Sea Ape. In the early 19th century, Russian explorers in the same region claimed to have seen a creature matching Steller's description. Their accounts, however, were less detailed and often overshadowed by the demands of their expeditions. In 1870, British naval officer Captain Henry Colthurst recounted an encounter near the Aleutian Islands. He described seeing a strange aquatic beast with a dog-like head and a body covered in thick fur. The creature reportedly followed his vessel for several miles before disappearing into the depths. Such accounts, while intriguing, were often dismissed by contemporaries as misidentifications or exaggerations. In the 20th century, sightings became even rarer, possibly due to decreased maritime traffic in those remote areas or advancements in marine biology that provided explanations for previously unknown species. Some modern-day cryptozoologists have revisited these historical accounts, searching for patterns or evidence that might substantiate the existence of the Steller Sea Ape. Several theories have been proposed. Explain the sightings of the Steller Sea Ape. Misidentification of known animals. One prevailing idea is that Steller and others may have misidentified known animals under unusual circumstances. The northern fur seal or the Steller sea lion, for example, can exhibit behaviors and physical features that, when observed from a distance or in poor conditions, might resemble Steller's description. Undiscovered species. Another theory suggests that the Steller sea ape could have been an unrecognized species of pinniped, or a surviving remnant of an otherwise extinct group of marine mammals. The discovery of the coelacanth, a fish thought to have been extinct for millions of years until its rediscovery in 1938, provides a precedent for such possibilities. Observational error or optical illusion, harsh weather conditions, waves, and the play of light on water can create optical illusions. After long periods at sea, even experienced sailors might misinterpret natural phenomena. Cultural influences and folklore. Indigenous folklore from the region includes tales of sea creatures with human-like characteristics. These stories could have influenced or been influenced by sailors' accounts, creating a blend of myth and observation. Skeptics argue that without physical evidence, such as bones, tissue samples, or clear photographs, the existence of the Steller Sea Ape remains speculative. The lack of corroborating evidence over the centuries, despite advances in marine exploration, further casts doubt on its existence. The Steller Sea Ape holds a unique place in the field of cryptozoology, the study of animals whose existence is unsubstantiated. It serves as an example of how even credible scientists can encounter phenomena that challenge conventional understanding. Culturally, the sea ape has inspired literature and art, symbolizing the allure of the unknown and humanity's enduring fascination with the mysteries of the deep. It represents the intersection of science, myth, and the human penchant for storytelling. The creature embodies our desire to believe that there are still wonders left to discover in an age where technology seems to have mapped every corner of the globe. In conclusion, the tale of the Steller Sea Ape is more than just a curious footnote in the annals of maritime history. It is a testament to the vastness of our oceans and the limits of human knowledge. Steller's detailed account continues to intrigue us reminding us that there are still frontiers to explore and secrets yet to be uncovered. Whether the Steller Sea Ape is a misidentified creature, an undiscovered species, or a product of observational error, its story encourages us to maintain a sense of wonder about the natural world. As we advance technologically and extend our reach into the depths of the oceans, perhaps one day we will solve the mystery of the Steller Sea Ape. Until then, it remains a captivating chapter in our quest to understand the world around us, a symbol of the mysteries that await discovery and the enduring allure of the unknown, the lurking shadows of the North Pacific. The wind howled as our small fishing vessel, the Northern Star, cut through the icy waters of the North Pacific. The moon cast a silvery glow over the restless sea, illuminating the jagged silhouettes of the distant Aleutian Islands. We were a crew of 5, seasoned fishermen accustomed to the capricious moods of these remote waters. But that night, an unsettling stillness settled over us, a silence that seemed to seep into our bones. As midnight approached, I stood alone on the deck, the cold biting through my heavy coat. The rest of the crew had retreated below, leaving me with my thoughts and the rhythmic creaking of the ship. Suddenly, a soft splash caught my attention. I peered over the railing, expecting to see a seal, or perhaps a pod of dolphins. Instead, a pair of large, luminous eyes stared back at me from the inky depths. They were too high above the waterline to belong to a fish, and too unblinking to be those of a seal. Startled, I stepped back, my heart pounding. The eyes vanished beneath the waves, leaving only ripples that quickly dissipated. Probably just fatigue, I muttered to myself. But as I turned to head back inside, a low guttural sound, half growl, half moan, echoed across the water. It was unlike anything I'd ever heard, a haunting call that raised the hairs on the back of my neck. I scanned the sea, and there it was, a dark figure slicing through the water with uncanny speed. The creature surfaced briefly, revealing a head that resembled that of a large dog, but with features distorted, almost grotesque. Wet, matted fur clung to its elongated face, and whiskers like those of a cat drooped from its snout. "Tom, Jack, get up here," I shouted, my voice betraying a hint of panic. Footsteps thudded on the wooden stairs as the crew scrambled onto the deck. "What is it?" Tom asked, rubbing sleep from his eyes. Before I could answer, the creature breached the surface again, this time closer. Under the moonlight, we could see its full form, a slender, muscular body covered in slick, grayish fur. It moved with a fluid grace, its bifurcated tail propelling it silently through the water. Jack gasped. "What in God's name is that?" The creature circled the boat, its eyes never leaving us. Then, with a powerful thrust of its tail, it leaped out of the water, landing with a splash that rocked the vessel. The sea ape began to slap the hull, with what looked like webbed hands, ending in sharp claws, producing a resonant, almost mocking rhythm. Fear tightened its grip on us. "Start the engine!" I yelled. Tom dashed toward the controls, but the engine sputtered and failed. Panic set in as we realized we were stranded. The creature's antics grew bolder. It pulled itself partially onto the deck, its massive head tilting curiously. Saliva dripped from its maw, revealing rows of jagged teeth. The stench of brine and decay filled the air. "Grab the harpoon!" Jack shouted. He lunged for the weapon, but the sea ape was quicker. With a swift motion, it swiped at Jack, its claws tearing through his sleeve and grazing his arm. Jack cried out in pain, stumbling backward. I seized a flare gun from a nearby shelf. "Get back!" I fired a flare directly at the creature. The bright light and sudden heat startled it, and it released a chilling screech that echoed into the night. It retreated into the water but didn't disappear. Instead, it began circling the boat again. Faster this time, creating a whirlpool that caused the ship to sway dangerously. "We need to repair the engine now." Tom and I rushed below deck, frantically working to get the motor running. The vessel groaned under the strain of the swirling waters. Above us, we could hear the creature's haunting calls and the shouts of the remaining crew. Minutes felt like hours, but finally the engine roared to life. "Go! Full speed ahead!" I shouted. The boat lurched forward, breaking free from the creature's aquatic trap. As we gained distance, the sea ape emerged once more, its eyes glowing with an almost intelligent malice. It let out one final, ear-piercing howl before disappearing beneath the waves. We didn't stop until the first light of dawn streaked the horizon. Exhausted and shaken, we anchored near a small, uninhabited island. Jack's arm was bandaged, but the wound was superficial. The psychological scars, however, ran deeper. "What was that thing?" Tom whispered, his eyes hollow. I shook my head. "I don't know, but I believe we've encountered something that defies explanation. Something that shouldn't exist." For the rest of the journey home, an uneasy silence hung over us. The sea, once our livelihood and refuge, had transformed into a realm of unknown terrors. News of our encounter was met with skepticism and ridicule. Some called it a hallucination induced by fatigue. Others suggested we concocted the story for attention. But we knew what we saw. The memory of those piercing eyes and the creature's eerie intelligence haunted our dreams. The ocean's depths held secrets, some beautiful, others monstrous, and somewhere in the cold, dark expanse of the North Pacific, the Steller Sea Ape prowled the waters, waiting for its next encounter with the unsuspecting. A note from the person who sent this to us. The sea holds many mysteries, and tales like this remind us of the thin line between reality and the unknown. Whether myth or a yet-to-be-discovered creature, the legend of the Steller Sea Ape continues to intrigue and unsettle those who venture into its supposed domain. Into the depths. An encounter with the Steller Sea Ape. I've always been drawn to the sea, the vast, uncharted wilderness that stretches beyond the horizon. As a marine biologist specializing in cryptozoology, I spent years chasing whispers and legends, but nothing prepared me for what I encountered last summer off the coast of the Aleutian Islands. Our expedition aimed to study the migration patterns of humpback whales. We set sail aboard the Aurora, a sturdy vessel equipped with the latest sonar and tracking technology. The crew was a mix of seasoned sailors and enthusiastic researchers, all eager for discovery. One evening, after a long day of observations, I decided to stay on deck while the rest of the crew retired below. The sun dipped low, casting a golden hue over the restless waves. I was reviewing some data when a strange blip appeared on the sonar. A solitary figure moving at an unusual speed, diverging from any known marine life in the area. Curiosity piqued. I adjusted the equipment for a closer look. The object was circling our vessel, maintaining a consistent distance. I peered over the side, scanning the darkening waters. At first, there was nothing but the rhythmic lapping of the waves against the hull. Then, I saw it. A sleek form broke the surface, a head resembling that of a dog, but larger and more elongated. Wet fur clung to its face, and whiskers like those of a cat twitched as it surveyed me with large, intelligent eyes. My breath caught in my throat. This was no creature I recognized. "Is someone there?" I whispered, half expecting a colleague to emerge and share in my astonishment. But the deck remained silent. The creature tilted its head, almost in response to my voice. It drew closer, and I could see the contours of its body, a slender, muscular frame covered in dense, grayish fur that shimmered in the fading light. It moved with a grace that was both mesmerizing and eerie, propelled by a bifurcated tail that sliced effortlessly through the water. I reached for my camera, hands trembling. As I lifted it to capture the moment, the creature dove beneath the surface. Disappointed, I lowered the camera, only for it to reappear moments later, closer this time. Gathering my courage, I spoke softly. "Hello there. I'm not here to harm you." To my astonishment, the creature responded by mimicking my head tilt, its eyes never leaving mine. It seemed to understand, or at least recognize, my attempt at communication. Suddenly, a shout came from behind me. "Hey! What are you doing up here alone?" I turned to see Mark, one of the deckhands, emerging from below. "Quiet," I hissed. "There's something out here," but it was too late. The creature, startled by the interruption, emitted a low, mournful sound, a mix between a whale's song and a dog's whine. It began to swim away. Desperate not to lose this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, I climbed onto the lower deck's railing. "Wait!" I called out, stretching my hand over the water, as if I could somehow bridge the gap between us. In a bold move, the creature paused and turned back. For a moment, time stood still. Then, in a swift motion, it propelled itself out of the water, performing a graceful arc before diving back in with a splash that sent ripples rocking the boat. Mark stood beside me, jaw agape. "Did you just see that?" I nodded, eyes locked on the spot where the creature had vanished. I think we've just encountered the Steller Sea Ape." "The what?" Mark looked at me incredulously. "An elusive cryptid, first described by Georg Wilhelm Steller in the 18th century. Many believe it's a myth." My mind raced with the implications. "But it's real, and we have to document this." Before we could react, the creature resurfaced, this time accompanied by a smaller figure, a juvenile perhaps. They circled the boat together, their movements synchronized in a captivating dance. It was as if they were inviting us into their world, sharing a secret long hidden beneath the waves. Excitement overcame caution. I grabbed my underwater camera and secured it to a pole, lowering it gently into the water. The live feed displayed on my tablet revealed the creatures in stunning clarity. Their eyes reflected curiosity, their bodies moving with an elegance that defied description. Just as I thought we were making a breakthrough, the boat lurched violently. The engine roared to life, and the vessel began to accelerate. "What's happening?" I shouted over the noise. Mark's eyes widened. "I didn't start it." We rushed to the controls, only to find the captain frantically pushing buttons. "We've lost steering," he yelled. "Something's interfering with the navigation systems." A glance at the radar showed multiple unidentified objects converging beneath us. The creatures were not alone. The water around the boat churned as more of them surfaced. Dozens of sea apes emerging from the depths. Their collective presence sent a mixture of awe and alarm through the crew. They weren't attacking, but their sheer numbers and the disruption to our equipment suggested a level of sophistication we hadn't anticipated. Are they trying to communicate? One of the researchers mused. Before we could formulate a plan, the lead creature, the one I'd first encountered, rose higher out of the water, emitting a series of clicks and whistles. The sounds echoed, creating a resonance that vibrated through the hull. Suddenly, the electrical systems flickered and died. We were adrift. Panic set in among the crew. "We're sitting ducks out here," someone shouted. "Everyone, stay calm," I asserted, though my own heart was racing. "I don't think they mean us harm." As if to confirm my words, the creatures began to push against the bow, guiding the Aurora toward a small, uncharted island that appeared on the horizon. It was a coordinated effort, their movements precise and purposeful. "Why are they taking us there?" Mark asked, his voice tinged with both fear and fascination. "I don't know," I replied, "but I think we're about to find out." As we approached the island, a mist enveloped the shoreline, concealing what lay beyond. The creatures guided us gently onto a natural dock formed by smooth rocks. With the boat secured, they retreated a short distance, watching us expectantly. "Should we go ashore?" the captain asked. I nodded. "I believe they want us to." We disembarked cautiously, the mist swirling around us. As we ventured inland, the fog lifted to reveal a landscape untouched by human hands. Lush vegetation, exotic flora, and sounds of wildlife unfamiliar to us. At the heart of the island stood ancient stone structures, etched with symbols resembling the creatures we'd encountered. It was a discovery that could redefine our understanding of marine life and intelligence. Overwhelmed, I turned back toward the shore. The lead sea ape met my gaze once more before disappearing beneath the waves, leaving us with more questions than answers. Back on the mainland, our tale was met with skepticism. Without concrete evidence, the malfunctioning equipment yielded no usable data. Many dismissed our account as a fanciful story or a hallucination induced by isolation at sea. But I know what we experienced was real. The island, the creatures, the unspoken connection. We had been granted a glimpse into a world few could imagine. I am more determined than ever to return, to uncover the mysteries that lie hidden in the ocean's depths. The Steller Sea Ape is no mere legend. It's a key to unlocking secrets about intelligence, communication, and the undiscovered marvels of our planet. To anyone who hears this story, I urge you to keep an open mind. The world is vast, and there is so much we have yet to learn. Perhaps one day, you'll be the one to join me on this journey of discovery.
As our time together draws to a close, fellow seekers, we extend our deepest gratitude for joining us on this captivating expedition into the realms of the cryptic. We hope these tales and puzzles have ignited a flame of curiosity within your very being, leaving you yearning for more. Remember, the enigmatic path never truly ends, as there are always new secrets waiting to be unraveled. So until our paths intertwine once again, may your days be filled with a sense of wonder and adventure. Also, please subscribe, like, and follow if you have enjoyed this content. Farewell for now, dear viewers, and may your journeys through the cryptic cosmos be forever filled with awe-inspiring discoveries. Safe travels, and may the enigma forever be at your side.